Hello everyone, today I'm going to be leveling up or really changing one of the kits from Graphic 45, and I'm using the Enchanted Forest collection to create a folio album inspired by the album kit volume 3 little one. Now I wanted this to be the Enchanted Forest, so I'm following the instructions almost precisely. I will tell you where I change into my kind of thinking, I guess. But I have already pre-cut all those little pieces, and now all I have to do is to decorate this beautiful folio. I mean, this folio is amazing. I love it. It is easy to decorate because all those pieces aren't really stuck to the I guess cover frame, and that just makes the creating part fabulous. Now I'm starting by inking all the edges using the Graphic 45 black ink. I just liked inked edges, therefore I love to use that on almost every project. And now I'm just decorating the inside of the box at the beginning. And like I said, I already pre-cut all the papers to the sizes given in the instructions, which you can find on the Graphic 45 webpage. And I'm just making sure that these are straight-ish. I'm not being too fiddly about it. This is handmade, so it won't be perfect, which is the charm. And now I'm doing the cover, and this pattern paper, this has to be my favorite from this collection. There are so many gorgeous colors in this one, beautiful patterns, and I guess I'm kind of drawn to the green parts of it. Yeah, surprise, I love green. But this is just magical to me, love it. And now for the cover, I chose this paper, which is the same as you see on the front of the package itself. It is just filled with beautiful details, so much going on, and I just thought, well, this needs to be showcased so that I can look at it all the time. And therefore, it is going to be the cover of my album. And I'm just adhering this together, and then I also cut strips for the sides because I do like decorating the whole thing. A great way to use papers that might not be your first choice or something, but I do like those little lines that I use for the sides, and I'll show you later on. And now it's for the flippity flappity pages, I guess. And like I said, I cut all these down to the measurements given, and just creating a little tuck pocket spot really on the inside of this. And the beautiful thing about this, when you're creating these little pockets or tuck-ins, I don't worry much about measuring the height. I just figure out what I have left over from something else that I already cut apart, and if that fits width-wise, I go for it. Makes the crafty bit go so fast. And here on this one, I created a side pocket or tuck spot, whichever way you prefer. And I did actually cut the papers to the same size as the page. You can of course save on pattern paper and cut it a bit smaller, shorter, but I decided to go with the whole thing in case I would change my mind, because I do often change my mind while crafting, so it is easier if I have everything covered and I don't stress too much really. And then I create this longer pocket on the side. And here you see, I'm just trying to figure out, do I want it on this side or the other side? Do I want side A or side B? And I'm just figuring out what fits the, I guess, the page at the moment in time. That's what I love about crafting. I mean, you just go with your gut. What feels right? What looks right? And just go for it. And I'm using double-sided tape because I want to make sure this pocket will stay put, and at the same time it won't leave any like adhesive residue that will get stuck on the flaps or the journaling spots or anything like that. That is why I use strong double-sided adhesive for those parts, but I use my glue gun for the larger parts. And then I'm doing the flaps themselves. Now in the kit instructions, these are cut to a narrower width, but like I mentioned before, I just like to cut them at the same size as the page is, because I might change my mind, so this makes it a bit easier for me to change my mind. Everything is covered, but you do you. And that is what I love about the kits from Graphic 45. You get all these ideas how to use the collection they use in that particular kit, but you can of course use any pattern paper that you feel like using, and the instructions are all there on the web page that you can follow from beginning to end and just use what you've got. That is what I love. And now I can tuck pieces behind that and they won't go anywhere. And then I just cover the flaps with pattern paper. I decided not to create a tuck spot or a belly band or anything on these. That was done in the tutorial. I decided not to do so and just keep them as photo mats and such. And now I'm just sticking this to the middle part, making sure it turns the right side so the pattern papers aren't upside down. Sort of my head getting in the way. I just want to make sure that I was getting it straight-ish also. So my head or my hair keeps showing up. And then that's all done. And then I go to the waterfall. Now the waterfall for this, I did not do the zigzag cut. It looks beautiful, but I decided no, I want to keep it straight so that it has lots of place for photos. And I did not create that pocket as I did in the tutorial. I just cut a smaller piece of pattern paper and created like a tuck spot on the front page. And I'm just centering it as well possible. Like I say, I'm not being too fiddly about it. If it looks straight, it is to me. Now you see that I have a waterfall on the other side, but I changed my mind and I'll tell you that later. And now I've actually covered the flaps according to the tutorial, and I left the back side clear. In the tutorial they create like a belly band of sort, and I decided not to. I wanted this just to be like plenty of photo space to create a layout of sort. But this zigzag pocket on the other side is done exactly as the tutorial, and I really like that look. Makes the pattern paper shine, really. And now I'm just figuring out where I want these flaps to be. Like, I'm trying to get them centered-ish, and I'm just using that waterfall as a guide so they will look the same-ish. And I've got 2 pages in, and at this point I realize that the waterfall on the other side is making the magnetic closure at the front dysfunctioning. Basically, it's too much paper and it won't grab onto the magnet. So I needed to remove that, as I've done here. Now we can close up easily. And I put that waterfall behind the flapper. And there I created a tuck spot. I found a piece of pattern paper the same width, and it was just about, I think it was 3 inches and 1/8 in height. It looked nice, so that is what I did. Like I said, I didn't measure it really, it was just one of those leftovers I had, so I used it because it was the correct width. And I just stick that to the front. And then I have a beautiful page with a large pocket that can hold lots of stuff. And the magnetic works now. Yay! And I use this undo to get the waterfall off. Lifesaver, I tell you. And now I'll be cutting different kinds of images from this pattern paper to use as decorations and Joan spots and whatnot. And I also cut some of these strips because I knew I would be able to use them on something. And some of these I use as is or with foam adhesive. And I cut out that lady to make it stand out. And of course I added some washi. And here see I've started decorating here and there using the washi tape and the cutout images, just so that I get the feeling that this is looking good. Tuck spot, always a good idea. And here I used one of the images as the flap. And you can of course add magnetics to close the flap or keep it shut. And now I need to decorate the cover. And of course I will use flowers because I love them. And I picked out a few of the flowers for the front cover. And I like to use double-sided adhesive to attach my flowers, as well as liquid glue. That way I get both the, the wiggle time with the glue, but I do get the proper stickiness with the double-sided adhesive. At least it works for me. And I'm just figuring out where to place my flowers and just put them here and there. And I'm only using these flowers on the cover because they will be creating way too much bulk if I use them on the inside. So only for the cover. And I'm squishing them a wee bit to get them more, I don't know, fluffy. And then I'm taking a few metal embellishments because I do like them. I love them and I look at them all the time, but for some reason I keep hoarding them instead of using them. That's what I'm doing. And I'm adding a bit of colour to the key and the keyhole. And I'm just using a Tim Holtz Distress paint for some added shine and colour. I'm not being precise in my application really, just a bit here and there, making them look worn, used and stuff like that. I just really like that added colour. And I use that same distress paint to add colour to my flowers here and there, no rhyme or reason. I'm just adding colour here and there to make things pop a little bit. A bit of colour and a little bit of shine. And I especially like how it looks on the black flower. Absolutely adore that. And then when I've added that, I decided to add some paint splashes as well. I do love a good splatter, so I'm adding that to the cover as well. And even though that is very subtle, nothing too distinguished at all, it does add quite a lot. And then I just adhere those metal embellishments where I think they look fine. Make sure that the keyhole is not looking a bit too wonky. And then I'm just figuring out where to use the key. and I decided to put that on the bottom, and I use 3D foam for the top of the key because it is a different height when you lay it down. And just a good glue, find the place where you want it to be, and then push it a bit and wait. And then of course, when I had done with the flowers and the metal bits, I had to add my favorite part, which are those beautiful matte pearls. Just love them. And here it's all done. It's ready. And I've filled each and every pocket with photo mats, journaling spots, and decorated a wee bit here and there. Tuck spots, lots of journaling, and these large ones that I just cut to fit. I believe there were 5 by 8. And just making sure that I have stuff everywhere. And there you have plenty of space to add journaling, photos, and whatnot. I love this folio. So much space to use up all that beautiful pattern paper we all have. And I absolutely adore the colours in this, and this folio is amazing to work with. The best thing is though, you can design it however you want it to look, and I love that. It can have more pages or less pages, love that. So here are a few still photos for you to have a look at. I really hope that you liked this little, I guess not tutorial, but a walkthrough. And don't forget to share your assignments with us over at Graphic 45. Bye!